Several years ago, I did this motor mount, but this one required welding as well as notching. So I thought, let's see if I can't do one that does not require welding or notching, easy to do, and yet achieves the same purpose. What I have here is a piece of 16 gauge sheet metal, a 2-inch diameter pipe, 1-inch angle iron, and 2 C-clamps. This is the first of 2 ways of rolling the 16 gauge sheet metal to make the saddle, or the place to put the electric tool. Now this is a little difficult because the C-clamp is on a pipe, rounded surface rather than a flat surface, but it's definitely doable. You can see we got a nice saddle for the electric tool. Now, here again we got the 2-inch pipe, the 16 gauge sheet metal, a couple of C-clamps, and a 1-inch piece of angle iron. It's 1 inch on each side. This is a little bit more solid because the C-clamps are against the table, which is flat. As you can see, I ended up with 2 different saddles. One on the left is a bit larger, which is good because not all electric tools have the same diameter. For example, the jigsaw that I'll be showing in just a few minutes has a much narrower diameter than the electric drill. Since these are so easy to make and the cost is minimal, it's a good idea to have 2, if not 3. One for every tool that you'll want to mount in the vise. If you need a piece of pipe or a piece of pipe that is larger, you can go to the hardware store or your building supply and pick up a piece of pipe here. And here are the parts: the saddle, piece of angle iron, hose clamp, and some 1/4x20 bolts and nuts. Drilled some 1/4-inch holes in the angle iron and corresponding holes in the saddle. Now there is one difference here, that I would use shorter bolts. This is all I had at the moment, but a shorter bolt would allow this to slip further down into the vise. Now the main benefit of putting the drill in the motor mount is it leaves both hands free to do the work. In addition, it increases the versatility of this electric drill. For example, here is a polishing wheel or a flap wheel using sanding. Or here is a tube sander that could be put on the electric drill. Or if you want to do some buffing, bring things up to a high sheen, you could put a buffing wheel on. Now here I'm using the Swivel Head Shear from Harbor Freight. You can see cutting sheet metal. Actually, I don't need 2 hands here, but it is a good way to put this swivel head shear so that it's held solid. And here with the Bosch Jig Saw, and I've got it in the motor mount, and the blade is in backwards, or I guess I should say reversed, and I can cut this notch out of this 16 gauge sheet metal. And incidentally, the trick here is to keep the metal flat against the base of the jigsaw. For the few minutes that it takes to make these saddles, and considering that they are of a very nominal cost, just increases the versatility of your tools. So it's definitely worth taking a few minutes to build these motor mounts.